world, especially in the anime world. And it says something about anime, and it says something about the people that watch anime, it says something about the stories. And I think that what's great about anime is, and there are so many different genres within the genre, and there are so many different ways that people tell a story within the genre, that you could really split it up into a lot of different themes or a lot of different categories. But the one thing that is usually there is the strength of the story. Like this, and those are the ones that I really connect to. There's sometimes not so much, but sometimes there are, fruit stuff or something that's really superficial or whatever. But I think what people really connect to is the power of the stories. And there's some great characters. So that being said, the people that I get to work with are they're really great. Like, not only great from a talent perspective, but just people. Monica is just awesome as a person and as an actor. So talented. Lucy Christian, I love working with Lucy Christian. She's so good. And the reason she's so good, and this will speak to part of your other question, which is what are some of the things you've heard in the booth? Or Lucy has an uncanny ability to be able to look at a character, the animation, the drawing, whatever it is, and just lock into a voice that is so perfect for that person. And so one of the best things that I was ever, when I first started doing this, I was given the advice, watch the person's body, watch their eyes, watch their mouth. And I never forgot that, because that gives you all the information that you need. We're as human beings, we work on instinct a lot, and we work on body language a lot, even more than we know that we do. The whole conversations happen with no dialogue at all. And whole conversations happen with people while they're talking about one thing, and an entirely different conversation is going on physically or in their body. And my training as an actor is really physical based. And that's not to say, I don't mean that, I was sitting there chanting doing yoga. I mean, I love yoga, but it's not a way to train as an actor. It's a way to train your body. And it's great. But I'm not doing scenes while in down dog or anything, So but physicality is part of it's everything. So that advice was given to me early on, and it stuck with me. I think advice about breathing, it's really easy to hold your breath a lot, especially when you've got so much going on in the booth. You've got the script over here, the animation's over here, depending on where you're working. You've got the 3 beeps that happen. And those beeps can you guys know about the beeps, right? Obviously. Yeah, the beeps can really, if you're not skilled at continuing to breathe through those beeps, they can make you, so you're watching, you see your lines, you hear other actors, maybe it's in English, maybe it's in Japanese, and then you hear beep, 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 and your whole body can just grip up because of that. You're about to have to do something. So your diaphragm grips, your stomach grips, your throat, maybe does this or that, or just anything. And then your read comes out a little bit forced, or there's an expected feeling to the read. What is it I'm looking for? Not expected, but you're indicating that you're feeling a certain way instead of it actually being there. So learning to know that, okay, those beeps are happening, but I'm relaxed, I'm breathing, my shoulders aren't around my ears, I know what's going on, and actually have an impulse. Truthful acting, whether it's voice acting or stage or on camera, is about having an impulse that truly happens in your body, and you act on that impulse. And most of the time, which is what's I think I love about acting in general, is that in the world we're taught to squash those impulses. You're taught to, from the time, now this is a little bit of a soapbox, but from the time you're in kindergarten, you're taught the rules, you know what you're supposed to do, you know how you're supposed to act, and that just continues and continues and continues into school, into college, into a job, whatever. So we get accustomed to having an impulse and just sitting on it. Now there are times that that's good, like you don't have a filter at all in the world, it's going to be a tough time for you probably, like, or you might be diagnosed with like Tourette's. No offense to anyone who has Tourette's. I mean, I kind of do a little bit. And I've been told sometimes I don't have a filter, like I just say whatever. But yeah, right. So as an actor, you have to train that instrument to be different. You have to train it to have an impulse and act on it. That's when magic happens, and that's when it's good, and that's when the story's being told and all that. So, yeah, like, I'm trying to think of other people that I really. I mean, I love the stuff that Greg does. I just think I love Greg. Who else? Emily Neves, I've worked with on stage as well as in the booth, and I love her voice as well. There's a lot of talented people. I mean, that just really, and you know, when you're talented and you are just like a good person, it's like amazing. I mean, there's just like, and it doesn't happen all the time. You know, a lot of people you have people telling you you're good long enough, and you start to feel like, yeah, well, I am good. And then you start acting like that, and then then you're just boring, you know? But that's my opinion. Anyway. Who's next?
Hi, I'm originally from the Boston area. Just sort of like a piggyback off of a question that you raised earlier in terms of getting a bit more involved in terms of coming back to LA Boston. Sort of a small world coincidence, I'm going to be doing a panel on Climate in this very room tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Oh, cool.
And you consider this a personal invitation from me.
Okay.
If you'd like to check it out.
All right.
And I also had an industry question for you. I was wondering if, out of all the characters that you may have voiced over the years, which one would you consider your personal favorite? And sort of a part two to that, if you got to decide in terms of just sort of a personality that you could do, like from pretty much this day forward, which one would you go with?
A personality, like a character type?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking at the schedule really quick. Oh man, you know, like a favorite character. People always expect me to say Sanzo, I guess. And I really did like that character a lot. And maybe it's because we just haven't done it in a while, even though we did the other one. I'm trying to think. I mean, I like Sanzo purely as a character. And but most of the characters that I end up really loving, it's mostly because of, and this is why I feel like what I love about this, the only reason to do this career, because it's so hard, and the chances of ever really getting a huge break or making any money or being able to support yourself, it's like trying to win the lottery, and it's so hard. So you have to do it because you have to do it. And people used to say that to me when I was younger, don't do this, you could do anything else and be reasonably happy. Go do that, please. Your life will be so much easier. And I used to think, oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, well, whatever. And now I know what they meant. I mean, it's like someone asked me, I was in New York 2 weekends ago, and I was meeting with a director friend of mine, and she was asking me, why do you do this? Like, why do you keep doing this? Because I was talking about an audition experience or something where, you're like right now I'm in talks to do this play, and it's like, I'm all over the place about it. Like at one moment I'm excited, like, oh, maybe this will work out, and then, well, maybe it's not going to work out, and you just like, you're pulled, it's up and down all the time. You have to figure out how to navigate that. And I'm totally going off on a tangent, but I promise I'll work my way back. And I answered her by saying, I don't know, I have to. that's what I have to do. I obviously, I mean, either that or like I'm an insane person or something. Because it's crazy to do this. But, so, usually the characters that I end up liking are the ones that are, have a strong relationship with somebody else. And that's why I feel like I keep doing this, or why I have to do this, because the only thing that's really interesting to me in life is relationships between people, is connection between people. Like, I wish I could be that guy who could go work some job and make a ton of money and it'd be okay. Because there are people that can, and that's awesome. I wish I could be that person sometimes, because life would be so much easier. But that stuff doesn't interest me. It just doesn't interest me. But connections between people, story, conflict, that interests me. So, to answer that question, I have to say, it may not be, when I answer the characters that I liked living in the most, it doesn't mean that this series was successful, or that it got good reviews, or that the dub we did was even good. I mean, sometimes, and you guys know more than anybody, but like, sometimes stuff doesn't work, But we know that on a larger scale too. We see great actors, film actors, stars that, do a film, they're great actors, and they do a film and you're like, wow, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. There's so many things.
Battlefield Earth.
What's that?
Example, Battlefield Earth.
Sure, right, yeah. I mean, there's so many examples like that. And you can't have a hit every time. And also there's so much, especially from a technical perspective in film and in voiceover, that is out of your control. Editing, mixing, things can, budget stuff, animation, all that. But, so I would say that Sanso's one of my, because of the relationship, and there's this love that he has for everyone, but it's also tormented. I come from the perspective in life that we're all just trying to find our way, and everybody's a little bit injured and wounded a little bit, and lost, yeah, and and everybody's trying to do the best they can most of the time, unless, there's other things going on with you or whatever, but, so I connect to characters like that. I really connected to Briarios, and that's not a huge fan favorite, I don't think, but I really connected to that character because of what he was dealing with, and now mostly because of the relationship with Dunin, because they have this crazy loyalty to each other, this like amazing loyalty that we don't, especially in the States, we don't always respect things like honor and loyalty and like keeping your word and stuff like that. We respect money and success and all of that. I'm totally on a high horse, it's so funny. Like, these are supposed to be like light panels and I'm like talking about, whatever. But Briarios and Dunin, like they'll go, the dude's a cyborg, like he got injured and she still is gonna stay with him, I mean, she stays with him. Who knows what their relationship is? Sometimes it seems like it's just platonic, sometimes there's a romantic thing, but she stays and she's loyal, not only as a partner, but as a person with another heart. And he is to her. And so that character I love. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because in order to survive, he had to take on the cyborg body. He's so conflicted. I mean, he can't really be the man that he once was, but he's also this powerful, Hecate-carry body, and he's just, So that, I love that character. And then I love the character in Kana too. Tomoya. Yeah, that journey is, just because he's so tormented, and he's so pulled in so many different directions. His father, and that relationship, and then trying to navigate the romantic relationship, and at first not wanting it, and not being something he wants to be a part of. Why are you following me? And leave me alone. To like, I love you, and I want this to work, and then losing that. And I don't know. I like stuff that's real life. Like, life is. It can be really great, but it can be really painful. There can be stuff that happens to you that just there's no explanation for. And when I was younger, I didn't really know how to navigate stuff like that. I thought, well, why the hell is this happening? Like, this is not cool. I don't understand. What did I do? What's wrong? Now I just realize that that's a part of what we have to do here. Well, for however long we're here, But yeah, I would say those three are my favorites so far. I did do just another character that at Funimation that I really dug, but probably still wouldn't make that list though. Yeah. And then did I answer the last part of it? There was one type of character. Oh yeah, that's easy, and it's sort of I've been criticized too sometimes in my performances that there seems to be sort of a lower kind of flatness to a lot of things, and not in everything, but in a lot of those are the characters that are real introspective, that are self-absorbed and really in their heads a lot, and that's how I justify some of the term flat is not right, but it's less of a cartoon thing and almost an internal, more realistic filmic type read than like I just did some work on Dragon Ball Z, and that's a friggin' cartoon, man. Like, you get in there and strap on the cartoon hat and rock on. Which is fun too. I wish I could do more of that. I don't get those opportunities that much. But it would be the character who has a huge heart, the one who's tormented, the one who is a bundle of contradictions, wants one thing but doesn't know how to go after it, but wants another thing but is scared of that. I mean, we all want to do things, but things hold us back. And so it would be that character. But then I do like the idea of triumphing over your fear or anxiety or whatever. So that too. I mean, the thing I like about Briarios is, he's a badass. That's the cool thing about anime too, is you get to do stuff that you wouldn't normally do as an actor. Like, there's probably not a play where I get to be a cyborg and fly through a stained glass window. So, yeah.
I'm actually from the Boston area. I just went to the Corner Blue to get a pastry certificate, but I'm also an actor.
Yeah, cool.
Like, what advice do you have for a person like me who's pursuing another career, who wants to get into acting again?
I think it's good that you have other things that you're doing. Like, you have to figure out, not only from a support yourself and financial perspective, but also from a satisfaction perspective. I got to a point where before things really started working for me as far as being able to solely just act, I was bartending in New York City and making a lot of money bartending and going, this is awesome, this is amazing how much money I'm making. But I got used to that money and it was like, what am I doing? Like, why? This is not what I want to do. So, but it's good to find something else too that you can do that satisfies you, that fulfills you. I think the best way to, people always, it depends on what you mean about, like, getting into acting in general or a specific type of acting, like voice acting.
Voice acting.
Voice acting, okay. So,
There it is.
I always say to people, and maybe you've already done this, but you have to have a foundation of acting to do voice acting. Like, people think you can just, do voices, and yeah, exactly. So you have to have a foundation. So getting a foundation is good. And the foundation of acting is like 5 questions. God, my acting teachers are like rolling around in their grave right now. And they're complicated. It's only 5, but they're complicated, and they're really hard to answer. And it's, if you're looking at a character, who are you? Where are you? What do you want? What are you trying to do to get what you want? And what happens if you don't get what you want? If you can answer those questions about a character, then you can, and then you've got to have technical expertise and voices and figure out how to live that. But those questions, that's what it's about. So you have to have a foundation. Voice acting is, it's almost like a wormhole, like trying to get into it. Like there are people that live in LA and New York who fly to Texas to do anime because the two major anime producing studios are in Dallas and Houston. So a lot of the times, and I heard another actor say this on a panel at another con, moving to one of those markets, if you really want to get into voiceovers, is kind of almost crucial because they don't fly people in unless they already know who you are and what you can deliver. You know, like Funimation isn't gonna have me come up there to work if they don't know that I can do what I can do. So
should I fly in to audition?
well, it's hard to get an audition too. You've got to put like a reel together. I think you need to get a home microphone. Like I do all my auditions over just my Mac and a Yeti mic, you know, and I have my proper stopper and a little studio, and I edit it on GarageBand and all that stuff. So I think getting in front of a mic though, and figuring out what you sound like, where you fit, all those kind of things before you start putting yourself out there. Because the problem is, when you put yourself out there, if you put yourself out there before you're ready, then casting directors will go, oh well, they're this, or they're not really good, you know, and then you shoot yourself in the foot. So I think there are a lot of people, and in fact, I'm trying to do this right now, is to put together a workshop curriculum to start teaching workshops on voice acting, and not just anime, but commercial, industrial. I mean, there's so many different pockets of voiceover work. There's promos, commercial voiceover, industrial voiceover, medical narration, legal narration, audiobook stuff, and then you got anime and, you know, cartoon stuff, Pixar, Disney, all that stuff. So
You should talk to Crispin Freeman about that in those classes.
oh yeah.
In LA, he has some physical classes and
Right.
he has online classes.
Oh, that's right. Somebody told me that before. Okay, yeah. Because there are a lot of people that ask me that, and I love. I've just started doing some coaching and teaching from a more of a stage perspective and on camera perspective, and I really like it. So you have to put together a commercial demo reel. An animation demo reel, and that doesn't mean it needs to be with animation. It just needs to be 2 minutes, at the most 2 minutes. No one really listens past a minute anyway. With your top stuff in the first minute of different voices of different characters. And they can be, you don't want to do a famous character that somebody's already done, obviously. You could make up a character, you could write your own copy for it, and put it together with different, and you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a bunch of variety, like, you know, all kinds of different voices. Pick like 3 things that you think you do really well, like, and I'm just making this up, but like the young, cute, you know, elementary school girl or whatever it is, or the sultry, sexy bombshell, or, you know, and write 2 sentences, 3 sentences, record them, put it together. That's the way you get somebody. And then you can start looking online and emailing that demo out, putting yourself out there for stuff. But it's really hard. There's the thing about acting in general, of getting into the business, and this is the thing that's the scariest about it, is there's no guarantees in life in any profession, and obviously that's obvious. But if I want to be an attorney, that's my dream, that's my love, I want to, for whatever. There's a path. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to be a successful attorney. It doesn't mean if I open up my own practice that it's not going to fail. But if I want to be an attorney, I go to undergrad and I major in something, and then I go to law school, I take my JD, I take the bars, and there's a path. acting, there's no path. There really is no path. The only thing is you need to study as an actor. And then there's no path. Anything can happen at any time. I have a friend. Do you guys know Jessica Boone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was she's never been to LA, never lived in LA, never lived in New York. I know we're probably running out of time soon. And she went to Prague as a part of the Shakespeare Festival. There's a guy in Houston that does a Shakespeare Festival that's co-produced with the Prague Shakespeare Festival. She went over to Prague, and she's in Prague, and there's a production company there, and they're shooting a television series, and they're looking for an American actress. And she's in Prague, and she's an American actress. And she goes and auditions, and she books the role. And it was the NBC show that's canceled, that I can't remember the name of it. It got canceled, but the point is, I wanna know, it's not missing, maybe it was missing. But the point is that that's the proof of there being no path. Like, she went over there. Yes, she's an actor. She had the foundation. Getting into acting is about preparing yourself and then being ready to deliver when the opportunity shows up. So, of all places, she's in Prague. She's never done any television in her life. She's never been to LA or New York. She doesn't have a reel of Law and Order and soap stuff and some indie film or whatever. And here she is on a NBC sitcom or NBC 1 hour drama that they liked her so much they started writing more of her character in. So yeah. So there really that question I get asked all the time, and it's the hardest question in the world to answer. You have to know what you want. You have to be really specific about what you want, and then figure out what steps you need to take to get yourself closer to that, and then pray. No, and then just hope for the best. Anyway, yeah. I wish I had a better answer to that. We don't really have much more time. Sorry, guys, but it's been awesome talking to you guys. Thanks so much for coming. And I'll see you later.